Hello and welcome back to Saffron Honey Chai. Now, no, typically I don't talk about anime on this podcast, but I heard that they might be doing a Naruto reboot because they did start to give up on Boruto, which I understand. I completely understand. And there was something that had been sitting on my heart since I first started watching Naruto as like a young child. And I realized it was massive, massive hate for the third Hokage. Now you might say, well, why do you hate the third Hokage? I'm going to tell you exactly why I hate the third Hokage. First and foremost, he was the predecessor to the fourth Hokage, which by now we all know was Naruto's dad. Spoilers for like an over 10-year-old show. I'm sure you'll cope somehow. And he didn't do anything to make sure that Naruto was really well provided for and had a good, decent, high quality life. He's basically the child of a president. Well, maybe not president, maybe more like a mayor. He's basically the child of something like a mayor and from a long line of people of status with power, which should give him a little boost, some perks, if you will, that would have allowed him things like normal healthy meals, a caretaker of some sort, proper housing. We'll get into that a little more. And, you know, not being hated by every single person in the village when they all had to have at least been slightly aware of who he was. And I have to say, the third Hokage really set the tone for how he was treated because he could have decided, hey, this is Lord Fourth's son. We have to treat him properly. He's just a child, and he is one of the reasons why this village is still here. And yet, none of that happened. They had this sweet little boy in Ninja Section 8 dreaming and hoping about a day where he would one day be important, literally surviving off of instant ramen. A little boy living off of instant ramen when his dad was a major political figure and basically a war hero. And his mother also came from a very long, illustrious family line. And the guy who let him live like that was his dad's predecessor. Basically, his coworker worked with him, understood the whole situation, knew everything, and didn't make sure he got any better. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's fine. No problem. No problem. No, that's actually a massive, huge issue. First and foremost, I mean, there's all kinds of issues in the Naruto world inherently because child soldier utopia. We don't have the time to really get into all that. But at the very least, the one child he had to see to make sure that he lived a good, decent life was the child of the man he definitely highly respected. There's no way you could let your war hero, former political figure, you can never let him down by letting his child live in squalor. But he lived alone. Naruto was completely alone. He was very unloved. He was targeted by the whole village to the point where, and this was a filler episode, so I understand why a lot of you didn't watch it. But in a filler episode, there was like a limited edition ramen pack that he had, and he made shadow clones just so he had people to talk to. And this is after Team 7 and everything. But that's how objectively lonely and lost this young man was. And then everyone's like, wow, I can't believe he was such a bad father in Boruto. Wow, how could he be such a bad father? He literally came up with nothing. the fact that his kids at least have a mother and a house and aren't hated by everyone, to him, it doesn't matter what he does. It's like, wow, I've really built a nice life for them. They aren't hated and reviled by me or anyone else. Oh, this is great. And then their mom's with them. God, I love Hinata. She's great. Everything's going to be just fine. This is going to be splendid. Because he just understood pain, isolation, rejection, misery his whole life, living in such bad conditions with not a drop of human warmth. And yet his goal was still, well, I'm going to make the world, at least this village, a really nice and safe place for all of us. We're all going to have a great time. But the one person who should have made sure that everything went well for him didn't do it. I understand. You have a whole village to take care of. You know, there's military things you have to worry about. There was like the coup that was burgeoning in the background, and you know, he did die. I gotta forgive him. He did die before Shippuden started. But still, before he died, he was like, listen, all he had to do, one paragraph worth of words. Hey, this is Lord Fourth's son. He and the boy's mother both died. This young child is holding the nine-tailed fox demon because otherwise we all would die. This little boy has done nothing wrong. If I see any of you guys mistreat this little boy, because he was crying alone on that swing as a little boy, preschool, elementary school, what have you. If I see any of y'all do that, I'm going to make sure y'all all get turned into sashimi. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. But no, instead he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, kid. Here's your food stamps for the month. Move on. And he just handed the kid a pack of cash. Did Naruto have enough education to do that? First and foremost, I mean, the ninja education looks like it ends at 13 max. So they're already not doing that great. But how can a little 6 to 9-year-old child effectively budget and run a household? The little boy, he couldn't even cook for himself. The only reason he was cooking instant ramen is because he didn't know how to make anything else. Instant ramen, all you have to do is make hot food. You just have to make hot water and then wait 3 minutes and then you have food. The boy needed a vegetable and he needed, I won't even say love. He just needed decency. And the third Hokage didn't make sure he had decency. He didn't make sure anyone treated him decently his whole entire life. Until the man died, he hadn't done anything to make sure. And I'm so stunned that it never came up in the series in Shippuden where he met Kushina and Namikaze, because I don't know, maybe that's just me. Because if I was treated like that, I would have been telling on them so hard, like, wow, mom, dad, I'm so happy I got to meet you guys. But you wouldn't believe how they've been treating me. I've lived like this and that and that. And I know you guys had a house. I know you guys had resources. I know you wouldn't have wanted me to live like that. I would have told on them so bad. So when you go back to the spirit world or wherever you are, make sure you make a beeline to hell to beat Hiruzen Sarutobi's ass. Because that's what he deserves. I really hate that he died because I want them to bring him back just so someone can beat his ass a few more times, if just a few more times. Because I understand everybody who was a villain. Pain was a villain. Trauma. Get therapy. He got his talk no jutsu. It all worked out. Kaguya was a villain. She's an alien. She doesn't understand humanity. I get it. I understand. But you're supposed to be a hero. You're supposed to be someone we all can look up to and we all can really see the value in. And where it mattered the most, you not only faltered, but you failed. You failed hard. And then it didn't seem like you gave any support to anyone who was trying to do right by Naruto. To the point where someone was able to manipulate him in the first episode with just normal human kindness. Normal human kindness was twisted against Naruto to weaponize him to do evil for somebody else. which is how he got the shadow clone jutsu technique. And had he just made sure that that wasn't a possibility, a lot of negative things wouldn't have occurred. But there's an inherent cold callousness to the ninja world that maybe I don't understand, because luckily my education extended past 13 and I was not forced to be a child soldier by some sort of odd, fantastical Japanese mystical land where there's demons but also cell phones. I don't understand it, man. But what I do understand is that nothing would make me happier than being able to go into that world and, of course, have some ninja powers. I'm not trying to die. And kick that man in his teeth. And this has been sitting on my spirit for so long. And of course, you know, you might say, well, why didn't you make a video about it before when like you were a kid? Well, I was a kid. Social media wasn't what it is now. And I didn't feel that strongly about it until I got into education and I realized, oh, this is actually, oh no. If someone poured a pot of boiling water on this man, I wouldn't feel bad at all. I'd be like, I get it. He's from the land of fire. It's good for him. It's good for him. And with that being said, I'm going to end this because I don't want to be further spiced up. I'm just going to say this. Be nice to children, even if the children are annoying. Children are supposed to be annoying. It's a feature, not a bug. And with that, I'll see y'all later. Enjoy. Have a great day.